My name is Miss Ryan.
My name is Connor Henderson.
My name is John Haydu.
I'm Mr. Mariano.
We are the Tech Department.
The STEM courses give the students a hands-on approach to learning, so they're able to really get into a project rather than just learning the principles, and it really applies that knowledge in a different approach than other courses.
But it's also going to teach you a lot of life skills. It's going to teach you how to work collaboratively. It's going to teach you how to work on a deadline, a realistic deadline.
Anybody with a lot of experience in the engineering field has a great opportunity awaiting them after college.
In these classes, a lot of times you're learning time management, problem-solving skills. You're looking at the ability to teamwork and brainstorm together, as well as your analytical skills, because you're constantly given a problem with many solutions or avenues that you can take, and then you kind of have to work together as a team to figure out which approach you want to go and then work towards it and possibly change things.
Looking at a problem and breaking it up into smaller bites and just chewing away at it until you find a solution.
That way you can stand up in front of a group of people and say, this is my film. I wouldn't go back and change anything. I really enjoy what I've created.
I think that STEM courses are so important for students to take because it offers a great balance of life skills and technical skills.
Technology drives innovation. Anything technology related at this point in time requires some sort of programming. Taking a computer science class, it builds the skills that enable us to be able to create those programs.
I'm Mr. Mariano, and I teach all the technology classes here at Chatham High School. I think one of the most important things we address is problem-solving skills and looking into finding multiple solutions to problems and understanding that the chosen solution we currently have might not be the same as the final solution. We have a lot of rapid prototyping, and what we get a chance to do is really see tangible products created and engineered by students. And that's from our 3D printers or from our plotter that we just obtained, to see floor plans come to life and designs come to life with 3D printing. The way that I set it up is similar across the board, even though they're very diverse and different in classes. We have a discussion on how everything's going, or a lesson on how to do something new, and then the students get a chance to do that lesson, whether it be on creating walls at a foam core, or animations in 3D Studio Max, or generating something for the printer or plotter. We are attempting to create a replica of Midtown Manhattan that would also be outlining the words "We are Chatham" to help promote Chatham technology, to help promote Chatham school spirit.
My name is Miss Ryan. I teach robotics, advanced robotics, CAD, and website design. Some teachers might consider it chaotic, but everyone's kind of doing something different. Some students are working on the CAD, some are working on programming, while others are working on more the building and the mechanics of the project. So there's a lot of different pieces of the puzzle each day. The growth, as far as our STEM courses go, is we're starting out at one level and each project builds upon the next. So with robotics, they're starting out on the Lego front and they're building these projects on a drag and drop based programming level, and then they move up to the advanced robotics projects that are actually Java coding and much more free form. They're actually figuring out what they want to do rather than kind of following an instruction set. The technology is ever advancing in society right now, so being a learner that's following this mindset is pretty important. So knowing what mechanics are, knowing what electronics are only going to help you today. I just like to see constant growth. We're always adding new things, new projects. It's never the same semester to semester or year to year. So each year you kind of get a different taste of projects and new courses. Advanced Robotics is in its first year, so we hope that grows and develops and we get new fun projects in it. Right now they're working in the first project, but then we hope to move on to drones in the future and then other projects that they'll work on throughout different years. They'll actually be working with an entry level where they will just learn to fly because they're actually kind of difficult to navigate. And then they'll build up and have ones that they've built, programmed, wired, the whole nine. And then they will wear the actual goggles and then race them, hopefully at like 60 miles an hour through obstacle courses. This room, we have a really nice setup because we have a computer room as well as kind of like your fabrication lab, your room over here, where you have a lot of open space to kind of develop and move as you want. This room is able to constantly change because all of the workbenches are on casters or wheels, so we get to constantly change the setup of this room. Next year we'll have some other equipment going on. We will have a drill press, bandsaw, and sander available in here so we don't have to keep going back and forth to Miss Mariano's lab. And then in the future, hopefully 3D printers, laser engravers, but it's a couple years down the line.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Getting involved with the STEM course is just an experience that you can't get anywhere else. You're really adding many disciplines all together in one in like a fun and exciting way. So take our classes.
My name is Connor Henderson, and I'm a technology teacher at Chatham High School. I teach video production, TV production, and short films. So the course sequence, having 3 courses, all focusing in the same content area, allows for growth just through experience. So in video production, we're just learning basic skills. How do you cut a clip? How do you add music? How do you arrange things? In TV production, then you're really starting to learn how to cut to tell a story, how to actually really capture emotion, not just through the footage that was captured, but the way that you arrange that footage, how you bring in the music at a certain time, what images you might show that can really evoke emotion from the audience. And in short films, it's a little bit different. They're learning to edit using the same program, but towards the end of the class, we get into a bit of color grading, so understanding how to color your film, how a certain tint, whether that's a yellow or blue, could really change the feel and emotion of a certain scene. So a typical day in my class, once we get past some of the basics, is really just working. It's a project-based class because there is always a long-term deadline. There's usually a short-term goal for that day. We'll start out with a quick class discussion of what needs to get done. But if you were to walk into my classroom, you would see students working, just constantly working.
The time and the work you put in, and you have something like, you have tangible evidence of the time and effort you put in, so that's really rewarding.
Everybody is there ready to work, and everybody's taking class, likes to take class, and wants to be there.
In the beginning of the course, there's a lot to learn. We have to teach the technical skills, we have to teach planning, and really that's one of my biggest challenges is teaching students to value the planning process, the design process, right? What problem do we have? How do we have to attack that problem? And then what story are you going to tell? How are you going to get your message across? I think that a lot of students, when I assign a project, just want to jump right in and use the equipment. In the beginning of the course, my job is to get them to value and understand why it's so important to plan before you just grab the equipment and go.
They also taught me how to work with a group of people on a project of that scale. So like in TV production, making segments with people, about people, interviewing people, and then being able to coordinate and organize the actual show.
So my classroom has a lot of technology to offer. We have many different types of video cameras. We have microphones. One of the most important piece of our classroom is our editing software. We use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a professional grade editing software. So by the time students get to college, they'll have 3 years of experience with this professional grade program. We also have teleprompters, and we have a TriCaster here. This TriCaster allows us to switch between camera shots. We have our videos loaded up. It allows us to produce a live television show. When students walk in and they're motivated, I think our teachers do a great job of motivating students, getting them excited about their work. Students don't work for grades. Students work because they genuinely care. They want to do the best work that they possibly can, and because they want to have the best project in class. And it's really great to see that atmosphere created in a tech class. And I don't think you get that in every classroom.
Okay, my name is John Haydu. I teach computer science here at Chatham, which includes next year's AP Computer Science Principles course, the Intro to Computer Science Part 1 and Part 2 courses, and Animation and Movement. I think STEM courses are extremely important for students to take in high school because they build on 3 very important skills: problem solving, logical thinking, and computational thinking skills. Regardless of what sort of profession a student decides to pursue in the future, these are the type of skills that are sought after by virtually every employer. So in all of these courses, we're at least in part learning how to program, and obviously if you intend to become a computer programmer, then the skills you're learning are directly related to the field you're going to pursue in the future. But aside from that, even if you're not deciding to go into computer science or engineering, technology is related in all of these fields. And it's extremely important to have at least some sort of basis as to how programming works, if for nothing else, to understand what people you're working with are capable of doing.
I would definitely say logical thinking, like thinking analytically, looking at a problem and breaking it up into smaller bites and just chewing away at it until you find a solution.
So the classes I teach are Intro to Computer Science 1 and 2, which are taught learning about the Java programming language. Honors, which is next year AP Computer Science Principles course, is done using MIT's App Inventor. And then Animation and Movement is actually a 2-part course. We start with Alice, which is a 3D programming environment, and then we move on to using Now Robots, which is programmed through the Allron's Choreograph software. Technology drives innovation. All of these courses are a direct reflection of things that students should know about technology. And all these courses allow students to build upon their problem-solving skills by taking on challenging programs and attempting to figure out solutions for them.